Good afternoon, students. This is Lohit Ram SK, Assistant Professor of Commerce, Srimati and Shivayar, Government Corporate College, Pagoda. So, under the chapter Recent Trends in Economy, we are going to know about the inflation, the meaning of inflation, and the causes of inflation. So, let us go with meaning first. So here the inflation is often defined in terms of its supposed causes. So that means one when there should be a proper cause for happening of inflation or incurring of inflation. So the inflation exists when money supply exceeds available goods and services. So that means more than goods and services which are available, the goods and services are available. More than that, if money is supplied or extra money is supplied, so then the inflation exists. Or in other words, we can say a general increase in the price and fall in purchasing value of money. So that means excess of money leads to decrease in the value of products or services. So it's called as inflation. Then let's go with the causes of inflation. So here the inflation is mainly caused by the excess or extra demand or decline in the aggregate supply or total output they are going to produce by the business entities. But it formally leads the rightward shift of aggregate demand curve, so from left to right. So all of you know that how demand curve moves in the diagram in the uh, okay. Then while the later causes aggregate supply curve to shift leftward. So supply curve shifts leftward and the aggregate demand curve moves rightward. So that means again oppositely they are moving. So here the former is called, that means previous is called demand pull inflation, and the later is called cost push inflation. Here, the demand curve moving is coming under demand pull inflation, and the supply curve moving is coming under cost push inflation. Then here, let's go with the demand pull inflation theory. So here in this theory, there are two theoretical approaches given to the DPI, demand pull inflation. One is classical and other one is Keynesian theory. So let's go with the first classical. So according to classical economists or monetarist, inflation is caused by an increase in money supply. So that means there is no other things are considered here, only increase in money supply. So which leads to a rightward shift in the negative sloping aggregate of demand curve. So from left to right, the demand curve moves, but with a negative slope. So, but in a given situation of full employment, but where there is a full employment is there, but the demand curve moves from left to right in a negative slope. So here the classists maintain that a change in money supply and brings about an equal change in price level. So there will be equal proportionate change in price and money, and as well as output quantity demanded. So only the change in supply of money is causes for demand pull inflation. So when the demand curve moves from right to leftward with a negative slope. But let's go with according to Keynesian. So demand pull inflation. So according to that Keynesian, the aggregate demand may rise due to rise in consumer demand or investment demand. So not in increase in supply of money. So according to Keynesian, so aggregate demand may rise only due to rise in the consumer demand. That means the consumer is going to consume goods more and more, and it leads to increase in more investment of productional activities. So the rise in consumer demand or rise in investment demand will cause us for this demand pull inflation. Then on government expenditure, the net exports are the combination of these four components of aggregate demand. So that is consumer demand, investment demand, government expenditure. Okay, so then expenditure on exports. So all these four components, they are going to be increases. So, and there will be a possibility of giving full employment, such as increase in aggregate demand leads to a upward pressure in such inflation, which is called as demand pull inflation. So here, let's go with the diagram. It means how demand pull inflation shifts in AD curve. We can see in this diagram with the help of this diagram. So here the positive sloping and become vertical after the full employment stages is reached AD. So here, so this is the employment, full employment level. So when it is reached, the employment, full employment is moving vertically is here. So when it is reached AD, see here, the demand curve is moving from left to rightward, but with a slope, positive slope. But the price level that's determined is OP. So at the same time, at point E equilibrium, where the aggregate demand meet aggregate supply or intersects. So that point is called equilibrium point. At that point E1, the price is OP1, and at the point equilibrium 2, the price is OP2. Means here there is a constant full employment is there. It is intersecting the aggregate demand as well as aggregate supply. So it causing for a movement of curve from aggregate demand curve from left side to downwards, that is right side with slope. So as aggregate demand curve shift to AD, price level rises to OP. So when it is at AD1, here the price level OP1 only, but when it is moved to another AD2, then price level also move to OP2. So only changes in monetary sectors according to uh, classical monetarist, so will causes for inflation. So let's see the causes of demand pull inflation. So demand pull inflation originates in the monetary sectors. So that means the excess supply of money will causes. So here the monetarist argues that only money matters is based on the assumption, but it's the only assumption. It's not in real. Or near full employment, excessive money supply will increase aggregate demand. So that means whenever there is a full employment, the production ability of the employees may increases, and the productivity also reaches 100%. So at that time, there will be aggregate demand for investment also. Then inflation, an increase in nominal money supply, shift to aggregate demand curve rightward. So here aggregate demand curve is shifting rightward when the output is in full, that is S, and Y is the employment, full employment curve, but it will be it's full at the time only aggregate demand curve shifts from left to right side. Then so this enables the people to hold excess of cash when there will be a excess supply of money. So then it will be enables, it will causes that people can hold excess of cash balances with them, and their spending of excess cash balances by them causes price level to rise. So that means when people start to uh, increase their spending levels with cash balances, the producers or manufacturers or sellers may increase the price level of goods and services. So here the price level will continue to rise until the aggregate demand equals to aggregate supply. So this aggregate demand should equal to aggregate supply. So it will be continued up to both of these become equal. It happens only because of the people with have excessive cash spending. Then, so here the aggregate demand may rise if there is an increase in consumption expenditure following a tax cut also. So that means if there is a tax cut by the government on a people income, the people also may increase the consumption expenditure. So along with that, at the same time, there will be a rise in price also. So here, then the next cause is the autonomous increase in the business investment on government expenditure. So when there is an increase by the government investment, so that means the government is going to excessively invest more and more. At that time also, that will be causes for demand pull inflation. So that means more excessive production will take place. So there is an increase in consumption, investment, government expenditure, and plus export minus import. So increase in export minus import. So that causes the price level to rise. So here, the another reason that holders of black money to spend more on conspicuous consumption goods. So this is also one of the reason for raising the price. So that means even though there is a measures taken by the government to control the supply of money, the holders of black money, illegal money may be spent it for on consumption of goods or conspicuous consumption of goods. It leads to increase in the price level also, because when they are going to spend their black money for the consumption goods, so automatically demand is going to be increases. At the same time, the manufacturers or sellers may increase their price for the goods and services on goods and services. So then printing of additional money. So here it is an argument of classical economists, so which drives to price upwards. So that means in order to control the monetary supply inflation, the government may print additional money. So at that time also it will be a causes for the upward of in the prices. Then the other one of the reason, the main reason, that growth of population. So whenever there is a changes in the population, so it stimulates the aggregate demand for goods and services. That means it inspires or causes for increasing in aggregate demand, and it leads to increase in price or upward price. So that's about the demand pull inflation and its causes. Let's go to the cost push in nation theory. So here, in addition to aggregate demand, the aggregate supply also generally inflationary process. So as inflation is caused by leftward shift of aggregate supply. Then cost push inflation theory. So is another reason, the type of theory, inflation theory. So here, in addition to the aggregate demand, the cost push is another cause in inflation theory. So that is, in addition to the aggregate demand, aggregate supply also general inflationary process. So as inflation is caused by leftward shift of aggregate supply, so that means from right to leftward, the supply curve will shifts. So we all call it as cost push inflation theory. The CPI is usually associated with non-monetary factors, but cost pull demand is associated with monetary factors. CPI rises due to the increase in cost of production, not in supply of money. So the cost of production may rise due to rise in cost of raw materials which are used for the production purpose, or increase in wages. So that means, so when the people of labor who are employed, labor are employed in production process, their wages may be increased. So here the manufacturer will increase the cost of production at the same time also. So here the wage increase may leads to an increase in productivity of workers. So if this happens, then AS curve will shift to the rightward, not leftward. Then here, when the inflation is caused by leftward shift of aggregate supply, so then we call it as CPI. So here, if there is a AS curve or aggregate supply curve will shift to rightward from rightward, not leftward. So it's not move from left to right, but it's from right to left. So we assume here that the productivity does not change in spite of increase in wages. So such increase in cost are passed onto consumers. So that means the prices are raised. So even though there is an increase in change, there no production increases, but the prices of products will be raised. So with that, cost will be transferred on to consumers, and rising wages leads to rising in costs. Then rising cost will leads to rising in prices. So rising prices again, there will be a demand by unions of laborers at higher wages to the laborers from the union side. So thus, an inflationary wage price is a spiral starts. So this causes aggregate supply curve to shift leftwards from right to left. Then the best rise of the causes for the cost push inflation is here the rise in prices of raw materials. So whenever there is a changes in price of raw materials, so it causes for the rise in prices also. Then the cost push inflation is often imported from the outside the economy, not exported. It is imported from the other countries. So then automatically the cost of production increases, then automatically it leads to increase in prices. Here the trade unions demand higher money wages as a compensation against the inflationary price rise. So that means whenever there is a rise in price, the unions feel that the company or manufacturer earn more profit, so they may demand for higher wages for their labor. So then fiscal policy changes such as increase in tax rates, so also leads to increase in upward pressure on cost of production. So if there is a higher tax that has to be paid by the company or manufacturers or business entities, so then automatically they are going to increase the cost of production, and as well as the prices also is going to be changed. If natural disasters happens, so there will be a problem of scarcity of resources, raw materials, so no productional work, all these things happens. At that time also cost of production, labor cost, prices are increases. Then artificial scarcity so is created. So that means even though there is a stock of good raw materials, so if the suppliers hoard them artificially, so then it created by the traders or hoarders, it's just simple ignite the situation. That means increase the cost of production as well as increase in prices. So then inefficiency, corruption, mismanagement of economy may also be the other reasons. So where they are unable to, the government is unable to control the inflationary measures in inflations by taking proper measures. So it's also leads to a cost pull inflation. So cost push inflation. So with this, I would like to conclude my session. Thank you. Good afternoon, students. This is Lohitram SK, Assistant Professor of Commerce, Srimati and Shivayar Government First Grade College, Pavagada. Dear students, in the previous session, we come to know the meaning of inflation and what are the causes for inflation. So in this session, we are going to know the types of inflation. Let's go with the classifications of inflation. So here On the basis of causes, so we can classify the inflation into many types. Let's go with one by one. The first type of on the basis of causes of inflation is currency inflation. So this happens only because the printing of currency notes. So that means if additional currency printed and supplied, then there will be excess of money, and there will be extra cash with the people, and at the same time the prices rises. Then credit inflation. So here, as a profit-making institutions, commercial banks sanctions more loans and advances to the public. So at that time, the credit expansion leads to a rise in price level. So then the value, the purchasing power, it's going to be decreases. So then it's also causes for inflation. So that kind of inflation is called as credit inflation. Then the deficit induced inflation, so means the third type of on the basis of causes of inflation, that is deficit induced inflation. So here the budget of government reflects when it's a deficit, so that means it shows some scarcity of amount or funds for allotment of its schemes and operations for the economic activities. So the when expenditure exceeds the revenue, so more than revenue, there will be more expenditure in the budget. So at that time, so to meet this gap, the government may ask central bank to print additional money. So it will leads to a pumping of additional money is required to meet the budget deficit. Then at the same time, it will cause us for rise in prices. So it may be called the price induced inflation. Then, on the basis of causes again, the fourth type of inflation is demand pull inflation. So, we discussed this in the previous sessions. Uh, so, I'm going to discuss it with a little in brief about demand pull inflation. So, here in demand pull inflation, so an increase in aggregate demand over the available output leads to a rise in price level. So that means aggregate demand of that means overall aggregate demand of goods and services is going to be increases. So over the output, so that means more than output, if demand is increases at that time, the price level also rises. So it will be called as uh, demand pull inflation or DPI. So here the classical economists attribute that the rise in aggregate demand to reason is money supply. So if the supply of money is in economy exceeds, then the available goods and services, then DPI appears. So that means if there is an exceeds in the money supply, so DPI appears. So demand push the demand for inflation. So that means available goods and services price is going to be increases. So it has been described by the one of the economists Colburn as situation of too much money chasing too few goods. So that means the value of goods is not declined, but the value of money is increased. Then, on the basis of causes again, we can classify the inflation into another fifth type, that is cost push inflation. So, inflation is an economy may arise from the overall increase in the cost of production. So, that means when there is an increase in the cost of production with the rise in prices of raw materials, wages, so this kind of inflation occurs. So, often trade unions also blamed for this. So, that means to rise in their wages since the wage rate is not completely market determined. So that means the trade unions also they are going to be have a demand to increase the wages as the raw materials price and cost of production increases along with the price. So a higher wage means a high cost of production. A price of commodities are thereby increased. So then the main second classification or type of inflation is on the basis of speed or intensity. So on the basis of speed of movement of money or goods and services value, they're going to be operated in the economy. The inflation may be classified into a number of types. Under that, the first one, the creeping or mild inflation. So here, if the speed of upward thrust in prices is slow. So that means rising of prices is slow but a small, but it is rising. Then we have creeping inflation. So here, what the speed of annual price rise is in creeping is one has to be stated by the economists. So that means no one is stated. That means exactly what kind of speed it's going to be taken. But some people claims that a creeping or mild inflation is one when annual price rise varies between only from 2% to 3%. So then, if the rate of price rise is kept in this level, it is considered to be helpful for the economic development. But some others argued that if annual price goes slightly beyond 3% mark, then it will be considered as a considered to be of no danger. But if it is raises to 2 to 3%, it is helpful. If it is moves beyond 3%, so it's no danger. Then the second type of on the base of speed or intensity inflation type is walking inflation. So if the rate of annual price increases, which lies between 3% to 4%, so that means it will move around only 3 to 4%. Then we have a situation of walking inflation. So when mild inflation is allowed to move out, then walking inflation appears. Then the next third classification on the basis of speed or intensity of inflation, that is galloping and hyperinflation. So it's more than the walking inflation. So that means walking inflation may be converted into a running inflation. If it is allowed in the same way, it will converted as a running inflation. So if it is not controlled, it may be ultimately be converted to galloping or hyperinflation. Galloping, so it don't have any control. So that means it is an extreme form of inflation when an economy gets shattered. So economy, it's not in the control. It's going like a galloping horse. So the inflation in the double or triple digit range can be expressed in this kind of inflation, that is 20, 100 or 200% per year is labeled as galloping in inflation. Then the next classification is that the government's reaction to inflation. So here it's not the type name, but the depending on the government reaction, we can make this classification on the basis of speed. So here a reaction. So here the inflationary situations may be opened or suppressed because of anti-inflationary policies pursued by the government. So if inflation may not be an embracing one, but for instance, increasing in income lends to an increase in consumption spending. So that means whenever the people income is increased, they always start to increase their consumption level. So which pulls the price level up. So when people start to increase the consumption level, manufacturers or sellers so increase the price levels also. So if the consumption spending is countered by the government, so that means if people start spending more and more, the government may counter it or control it via price control and rational devising. So the inflationary situations may be called that kind of situation, it may be called as suppressed one. So once the government curbs are lifted or if the control is lifted, the suppressed inflation become open inflation. So open inflation may be the result of hyperinflation. So with this, I would like to conclude this session.